guys! So today I'm going to do a video, and this is the first in what I hope to become a regular part of my channel, which is where I review books either based on a same author and then just reviewing their books, or based around a genre. Today I'm going to go with the very popular genre of books, which is dystopian. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone has a pretty good idea of what a dystopian book is, but for those of you who don't know, a dystopian book is a book set in the future, revolving around obviously the protagonist, who is kind of put into the thick of things with something that is wrong with the government that has taken over in this post-apocalyptic world, or a world to that effect, and they basically bring down the government and stuff because they're like, everything is wrong. And so, I'm reviewing 3 books. I'm going to review Wither by Lauren DeFistano, or however you say that, Divergent by Veronica Roth. I don't know why I'm holding the books like this. And Uglies by Scott Westerfield. This is the first book I'm going to review because it is the most recently read by me. Now, Uglies is a book that is set into the future where everyone is grows up in these set of stages of life and stuff, but basically when they turn 16 they go from being a normal person, which is ugly, to becoming a biologically perfect, physically perfect human being. And they go through extreme reconstructive surgery. We're talking they cut bones apart to try and get people to the right height and stuff. It is intense. And it revolves around a girl named Tally Youngblood. She is the main character of the book, and her best friend Paris is already pretty. She's very excited about becoming pretty because she's pretty. Everything in life is awesome when you're pretty, because when you turn pretty, you go and you move into this town called New Pretty Town, and basically all you do is party all day and all night. And yeah. And you're pretty, which in this society is very, 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 very important. It's the most important part of life. So, one night, she sneaks across into New Pretty Town to try to talk to Paris, just because he hadn't really spoken to her since getting the surgery and leaving, and he was her only friend, so she was pretty lonely. And she evades danger and stuff in there, and in her crossings back into Uglyville, which is where all the Uglies live, and Uglies are, from what I infer, between the ages of 12 and 16. And as she's sneaking across back into Uglyville, she happens across another Ugly whose name is Shay. And when she meets Shay, she's like, oh, Shay's pretty cool and stuff. And Shay teaches her how to hoverboard, which just sounds so awesome. Oh my goodness, I really want a hoverboard. But, so Shay teaches her how to hoverboard, and all Tally can think about is becoming pretty. And they have this thing where you can, take pictures of yourself and then mess with your face to how you want to become pretty and stuff. It's a little strange. And Tally's always doing that when it's her turn to decide what they do or whatever, and Shay's just ugh, no, this is so stupid and stuff. And she slowly lets out more and more how she is satisfied with the way she looks. She's satisfied with who she is. She doesn't want to turn into a pretty. And it escalates to the point where she runs away to join this separate society where no one gets the surgery to become pretty, and they just live in the woods or whatever, in the mountains. And so then Shay tells her, oh, I'm running away to this place called the Smoke. And Tally's but we're gonna turn pretty soon and stuff. And then Shay just, goes off. And Tally is just kind of lonely because she has no friends, like I said before. And so then she just kind of is moping around until her birthday, which coincidentally is on September 9th, which is myself and my brother's birthday. And so that's pretty cool. Shay also has the same birthday, so yeah. But her 16th birthday comes and she goes to get the surgery. However, she waits there like all day and stuff, and then she's taken by what is called specials. Specials basically give her the ultimatum to either go find Shay and expose the smoke, or to just stay ugly forever. And so yeah, Uglies is just kind of the book following her adventure and her decisions and how her perception on stuff changes. Personally, I thought this book was going to be a lot better than it was. I have heard a couple of YouTubers such as Joey Graceffa and Whitney Lee Milam rave about this book. Like, they love this book so much. I'd seen people in school reading this book and really enjoying it, and so I was really excited when I read it and stuff. Like, when I began to read it, I thought it was going to have a very intricate storyline. There was going to be lots of lots more than it had. And personally, I was very, very, very disappointed with this book. I kind of slugged through it. I would read it like in babysitting whenever I got the chance, and yeah, it was very disappointing, and I felt like it was it kind of skimmed over the surface of things, you know? Like, it didn't get deep, it didn't get to like emotions and feelings and to like things that kind of make a book. It just was skimming over a storyline, I felt like. And so I was very, very, very disappointed with this book. I have not read the rest of the series, and I won't. I read the summary of the next book on Wikipedia, and it just sounded like it was kind of getting worse. So yeah, I decided not to continue to read in these books. However, I did finish it, and there were moments that I enjoyed the book. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this book a 3. Then Divergent, which I'm sure most, if not all of you guys are familiar with this book by now, because there has been a movie that came out, and the movie was really, really good. I think it was a very, very accurate representation of the book and stuff, like, especially for a movie based off of a book. Like, that never happens, so I was really pleased. But this is Divergent by Veronica Roth, and this, if you don't know, is about a society set in the future. I think, I don't know, I didn't really read the third book, which I think kind of exposes everything, but it's, as far as I know, set into the future, and there is what is called like 5 factions, and they are Erudite, Amity, Candor, Dauntless, and Abnegation. And so this book, the main character, the protagonist, is Beatrice Pryor, and she starts out in Abnegation with her family and her brother, who's older than her, but they were born within the same year, which is a little weird, but his name is Caleb Pryor. Then there is a test that you take, like, right before you turn, I think the age is 18, I could be mistaken, the age wasn't really stressed, but I think 18, and it's supposed to tell you which faction you are, like, made for and stuff, because in the ideal world that this, like, society has tried to build, everyone fits into just one faction. Well, Beatrice is what's called Divergent. So when she takes the test, she is, like, for lack of a better word, sorted into not 1, not 2, but 3 factions. And so that kind of messes with the whole system. And it's like, apparently it's something that is not quite common, but it happens. It happens. And so one of the factions that Beatrice got is Dauntless. And Dauntless are like the crazy people, kind of. Yeah. And they are wild, they jump off of buildings, they jump into and off of trains, they get tattoos and piercings everywhere, they constantly are learning how to fight and do combat skills, and they basically just live their lives based off of adrenaline. And coming from Abnegation, which is a faction where you only look at yourself in the mirror once a year, you are completely selfless and devoted to other people. Triss, by the way, she chooses to go into Dauntless, and she changes her name to Triss because Beatrice just doesn't really fit with the whole Dauntless vibe. and so she is now Triss. And going from abnegation to dauntless is very, very hard for Triss. And then also being a Divergent, it's hard because obviously the government does not want Divergence because they just ruin the system. And so this book is based around kind of her becoming a dauntless, a little bit of her love story with someone named Four, and also the whole ruin of the Divergent in this society. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this book a 7. I really, really liked this book. The third and final book, which is also my favorite book, is Wither by Lauren DeFastano. Or DeFastano. DiStefano? I don't really know how it's pronounced. So, this is set in a more of a post-apocalyptic world where they, like this, like pill or something, injection, I don't really know, was given to the, like, one generation of people and, like, the whole world that was left, and it made it so that they had no diseases, they had no illnesses, no ailments, nothing. They, like, lived their lives perfectly well. And all was well and dandy until they started having children, in which the minor little side effect was discovered that their children and those children's children, basically everyone except for that original generation, kind of dies really early. Boys die at the age of 25 and girls die at the age of 20. So this kind of leads to lots of death and destruction within the society, and a very small amount of people are left. And it, like, everyone just lives in America. Like, that's all that's left of the world, basically. And the main character for this book is named Rhine. And she lives with her brother, whose name I can't remember for the life of me. It's some river, like her name, the Rhine River. And they live in Manhattan. But one day she's walking around, like home from work, I think, and she gets kidnapped. And so something that is going on in this society is that a lot of rich guys are buying multiple wives and stuff so that they can, like, get them all pregnant and whatnot and have lots of children to try and keep the generations going and to keep the world alive. So she is sold as a bride to a guy named Lyndon, along with 2 other girls. One who is on the cusp of dying, and the other girl who is like 12 years old, her name is Cecily. The girl who's like 19 or whatever is named Jenna. And I really like Jenna, I really like Ryan, I hate Cecily. So, in this book, also Lyndon, her husband, is just such a nice guy. I love Lyndon. I love Lyndon so much. Oh man. So sad. But so Ryan, obviously, she's not going to take just being, like, sold basically into slavery and stuff. And so she, like, constantly through this book is just trying to figure out a way to escape, trying to figure out how to get back home, trying to get her brother to notice that she's there. And in this, she kind of realizes that she has to become the favorite wife, so that Lyndon will take her out to parties which are televised in the hopes that her brother will see her and try to come rescue her. However, as she gets to know Lyndon more and more, she discovers that he's not that bad, that he is actually a very kind person that has been misled and misdirected and dictated throughout his whole life by his evil father, Vaughn, so that he doesn't quite understand the world. And Ryan kind of teaches him about the world, and they just kind of help each other. And it's, this book is just so gripping and beautifully written. Like, I read this book in one day. I read it back in 8th grade, so like 2 years ago, and I remember I got it from the library because I'd read about it online, and I was like, oh, this sounds like an interesting book, like, you know. And I got it, I started reading it before, like, my French class started, which was my first period, and I put it down only when I had to, and, like, between every class, I was picking this up during lunch, I was reading this. When I got home, I finished my homework as soon as I could, and then I just started reading this book, and I read it until about 3 in the morning. I could not put it down. It was much. It was so amazing, and it was just so beautifully written. And it kind of is the story of Ryan trying to escape, but also coming to realize that the world is different than she had been imagining, and her almost acceptance in a way of what's going on around her. Whether on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give a like 8.5. It was it was gripping, it was harrowing, it was elegant, it was creepy, it was just so imaginative and detailed. Yeah, so these are the 3 books. And so yeah, I would recommend Divergent, and obviously I would not recommend Uglies. I mean, read it if you want, but personally in my opinion it wasn't that good. Like, I'm gonna either like sell or donate it because it just, no. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, and I would love if you would comment down below any like book suggestions that you have, any comments about these books, your thoughts, any books along this genre that you really liked, anything like that. And you can look for my next video coming soon. Yeah, I really hope you guys liked this stuff. I know it's a little bit different, but I mean, I love books. When I originally started thinking about doing a YouTube channel, I was originally thinking about just doing one where I reviewed books and stuff. But yeah, so this is fun. I really like this. Yeah, and I will see you guys on Monday, which, just so y'all know, is the day before my birthday. So, it's pretty exciting. Yeah, I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye!